God said, let there be fresh air. Greetings, family and friends and lovers of all things creative. My name is Jashua Sa-Ra, and I will be your host for tonight's event. Welcome to the Cultural Council of Palm Beach County and our event tonight, How Do We Move Forward? The mission of the Palm Beach Cultural Council is to champion, engage, and to grow the arts and the local artists. Tonight's event is put on by ATB Fine Arts, which is a combination of a powerful couple of brilliant artists named Anthony and Trina Burks, and I would like to welcome them to the stage right now.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. Thank you guys for showing up and watching us on YouTube. We appreciate all that participated. These artists worked really hard to provide this opportunity for you to understand what the mission is for us, which is to get together, explain our mission through love, poetry, and visual art. So enjoy yourself, sit back, get a glass of wine, and just mellow out and have an open mind, because we're just here to teach you. And we welcome you again. Thank you.
We can't hear, but y'all can clap at home. Just like pretend we can hear you. Just hype it up like, yeah, that's my man's right there. Just hype it up for my peoples. This is an evening of performance arts, collaborations with visual arts. And so you'll see the visual art pop up after you hear the poem. And they were written together, collaborated together, created together. But before we get into those, I'd like to warm the stage up with a pillar of the art scene here in Palm Beach County. My brother has been doing the music for y'all, DJ Thought.
In the days before tomorrow, our thoughts try to forget yesterday. Yesterday's good days, yesterday's bad days, yesterday's good old days. But in days like this, we've got to believe. We've got no choice to believe that even if we don't, the sun will rise again tomorrow. So why simmer in sorrow? We must learn how to laugh. Even in the midst of this struggle, we must learn to laugh. Newsflash, hard times ain't nothing new to us. So you were born into this land of troubled waters, not swimming, not rolling with the motions, but splashing. For we have always made our own waves in the midst of this ocean called life while holding on to hope. For hope is the substance of dreams, holding on and struggling in a place where if all is not what it seems, then surely all cannot be lost. So in the days before tomorrow, our thoughts struggle to remember yesterday, yesterday's dreams, yesterday's wishes, yesterday's revelations. And patience is that barbed wire fence which oftentimes separates conception from actualization. And therefore, persistence becomes the essence of having that which we have not had yet for generations, which we have not had yet to have. And yet, in the days before tomorrow, they want us to forget yesterday. Well, we are who we are because of who we were. And we do what we do because of what has already been done. And tomorrow will never be a bigger, brighter, better day if it is no different from this one. So in the days before tomorrow, we must love better than we did yesterday. We must live better than we did yesterday. In the days before tomorrow, we must be better than we were yesterday. Otherwise, this day known as tomorrow will never, ever come.
More fire. I would like to ask for my audience that's here to make some noise also. Y'all can clap, because it's the weirdest thing in the world for me to hear something that great, and then it's just pin drops after that, like, that was nice poetry. No, so definitely feel free to express yourselves at home. I don't know what y'all can do on YouTube, if you can like hit heart buttons or comments, do things like that. Be engaged with us, that's beautiful. That was DJ Thought from Smooth Bounce Entertainment. And now we would like to get into the collaborations. What we're gonna do first is have the poet who wrote the poem come and present their poem, and afterwards I will read the artist statement while you look at the visuals that go with it. So our first elegant queen of the night is Jenn La Reine. Please welcome her.
Good evening. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me. This piece is called The Ancestors' Hindsight. On the evening of May 25th, 2020, a white noise screeches on the global speaker. A loop of wailing cries for mama. George Floyd's murder became America's latest release of trauma porn, alerting sleepwalkers to waking nightmare. Dazed and confused, they can't unsee the truth of the American dream. That the soil of the land we occupy has, for hundreds of years, been fertilized by the blood of Black people dripping off the leaves. And that his murder is no different. And my people know it too. Upon hearing the news, I sat at my ancestral altar and earnestly asked, how do we move forward? I know they've witnessed atrocities first and secondhand in their lifetimes. Now, acting as ascended advisors, I ask that they extend their arms to help me hold whatever my mind, heart, and spirit struggle to carry. 3 figures arrive in the shadows: my maternal grandmother and grandaunt. They fled Haiti in the 1960s for a better life in the land of the free. My grandmother's aunt speaks. Sherry, you are a miracle walking, as free as I'd hoped you'd be. White supremacy delusion is a hungry beast, fed by blood rituals for centuries. Dismantling their system was never our calling. You are an ancestor in training. Live honorably. Heal. Grasp the darkness from deep within. Release what does not serve the highest. Reclaim sovereignty. Feed your consciousness. Nurture your vessel. Mind and lead your soul. Tell the ugly truth. Shatter the image that was forced. Close your eyes to see yourself, to hear yourself. Self-care precedes collective care. Listen to the elders, write our stories, teach the babies, get in right relationship with the earth. Nature will never shame your return. When did you forget that we are one? Go to the water and commune with the sun. Kiss your lover deeply. Tell your loved one sorry for the harm that comes as a result of trauma that gets to be too much to handle. Do better for the legacy that follows. Thank you.
Jenn was collaborating with the artist Tracy Guiteau. Her piece is called Hindsight, and this is her artist statement. Releasing the hurt and anger of the past together will help us go further. It breaks the echoes of generational trauma. It's uncomfortable, but a necessary conversation that can bring significant changes. It must be challenged and uprooted like an unwelcome weed, not the welcome weeds. Sharing our story is important. It helps others realize that they are not alone and shifts their perspective. Some of their perceptions are ingrained in our society that are replicated in the media, replicated in advertising, reputation, and in so many ways, our unconsciousness ingrains some of these perceptions in us. Comfort of habits ingrained in upbringing may be the biggest root of the problem. Channeling the anger and hurt, not alone, but as a union, is the foundation. Then life becomes more discomfort, but more importantly, more perspective, more beauty, more truth, more depth, more meaning. It's Tracy Guiteau. Our next performer coming to the microphone is Nick Murray. Please show him some love.
This piece is called Dividend. The property actually had their own pronouns prior to the pretty packaging. But round town peripherals went by names James, Lex, John, Rosa, Malcolm. The aim was to miss the point of Martin's Montana. I could dispense the rage much more Santana or Basquiat or Baldwin. I could dispense it the way my goulash is sloshing. I could dispense it. I remember my kitchen smelled like ackee and saltfish. Harlem Nights in the living room. Patois told me, drink this juice, put this CD on. How could this painful journey also be a favorite song? The property actually had their own culture prior to culling. But who sits and thinks of the convos between toys while they still have their price tags on them? All you do is purchase. Can you get a grip? Like Ascension. I apologize if the wordplay is too serious. I am dying somewhere. The scream is so much quieter than the streams. I'm tired of content that's created by these things. You see, I know of empty rooms full of isolation. I know a little boy alone in his room looking into a round mirror that sings his reflection back to him. But it's American, and his parents are not from here. His source material and place of assembly are creating tension. And around others like him, he consistently fails to mention his DNA because it's coiled and knotted between the coasts of two different shipping centers. The property had problems prior to the purchasing. Plans prior to dilemmas of acres versus ounces. Before mail order organisms were ordered into bounties. Before blood from the heart of darkness drips silently from the edges of counties. Wipe up the spill. And tell me when you've had enough. When will you have your fill? And when did I start buying cuffs? They link me to problems of possession. I'm at 99 plus, shopping cart full of burning rainforest. Meanwhile, Big Bro says, you're the one. Fingertips gently brush a void of Twitter drafts and unanswered texts. I can feel legacy blunting my shoulder blades like an astronaut turned Atlas. So tired of holding up my world, but I'm so scared that I'll drop it. My horizon and my planetary curve. Don't look up or you'll see my Earth. From the property. We made so. You insisted we were only 60%. Of your tears, fears, emotions, you watched us persist. In the lake of fire, drowning, burning in tribulation's midst. Well, that lake is flooding its banks, who you think it'll drown next? And you seen like Yasin. I mean. Invisible man made the world's eyes clementines with how he turns a clever thought to living thing like God. Woe to the insides, dark, divine, yea. I'm fly, angelic flex on swole. Burning bush like a prophetic bow. My intuition is mathematical and superstition and made the lie plentiful. Round town and bound, so we bounce, and it's frequent. The exit is always French, since the line is Maginot. Always on otro página siempre, but you wrote the libro. My unliberation is a footnote. You barely note my breath beneath your foot. So I'm stuck in detention, longing for summer. Round town and bound, so we bounce, and it's frequent. The exit is always French, since the line is Maginot. I don't need the clemency. I took the detritus and made it sing. Power, is it in stratocumulus or savannah? I ran this like it was business. Now the relationship is sinking. Now the blood bank is bankrupt. Now the giant is a phantom. Now the wedding ring is Manila. Now the fold is a shackle. Flight through cloud gate vanilla. Velocity had me spinning. I'm on fumes, the nose is dipping. I'm entombed, and death is slimming. Morning had been my aesthetic. Morning, another day full of zombies fiending for flesh. A feeding is what they expect. I know you've seen Ramiro's scenes, but when it comes to Peel, everyone laughed at how the food feels. I mean, dang. Power, where does it live? Does it hide in the heavens or just beneath the horizon? I'm looking for the sun like my father. He said, don't get too far ahead and leave your heart behind, alone with a prophet in my ear.
That was Nick Murray, and he teammated with Turgo Bastion. The name of his piece is Time is Up. And I'm going to read this slowly, see I have a little bit more time. It's like a one-liner, so I'm going to read it slow so y'all can see the picture a little bit longer. I'm not going to do that. For my artworks, I used found objects, aluminum, wood, scrap metals, and natural fibers to further explore and explain my world vision. That's Time Is Up by Turgo Bastien. Did y'all notice that brother had like 45 ancestors leaking out of that head wrap? Y'all saw all them ancestors trying to peek and see who they could see. I saw them. I don't know if y'all got your eyes right. But I'm gonna bring up the next performer for you guys. He goes by the name of Dorian Frith. Please show your love.
The name of this piece is Invisible Fire. Society say, don't cry, young man, for your tears are traces of vulnerable weaknesses in your. Society say, don't cry, young man, for your tears are traces of vulnerable, your weaknesses in silent pain. That's deep. I'm gonna say it one more time. Society say, don't cry, young man, for your strength is in silent pain. Pain that's left to stain your trust, your love, your foolish pride. Your weaknesses, you came into this world with them. But the question is, will you leave with them, young man? Or will they forever be invisible fire, dying to be liberated for the sake of a nation that needs more men to speak? Black man, rise. You see, the picture they're trying to paint is your strength being obsolete. So kings of this earth, give righteousness back your dance of warrior. Stop the daily loss of your way. Be no longer afraid to show the world your hurt. Stand outside of your darkness as the moon. Yeah, and be filled with the passion to celebrate that you're a black man, living in a country built off lies. I say be filled with the passion to celebrate that you're a black man, living in a country that was built off lies. Salute.
That was Dorian Frith, and he was collaborating with Daryl Donovan, whose piece is called Invisible Fire. Invisible fire is the fire that all young black men have inside of them. This piece is about finding the fire and teaching our young children to find it. The fire can burn brighter and hotter than using your hands, but the power of the mind is more powerful and stronger than marble. Teach our sons, our fathers, our brothers to embrace that fire. That's Invisible Fire by Daryl Donovan. You are able to find all of these artists. If you find yourself like, oh my God, that was so incredible, I want to hear it again, I want to see it again, you can do that. We're all available, and I'll make sure that before we all leave, I'll let them come back up and speak to their, what do you call it, social media contacts? That's what the new millennium does, right? Back in the day, I had answer machines. You know what I mean? You had to catch me at home or not. But now we got social media things where you can catch me everywhere. But I'll make sure that they come back up and give you all of their information in case you want to follow up with any of these wonderful artists. Our next artist coming to the stage is Nyesha Smith. Show some love, make some noise. Yeah. Clap your hand. Clap your hand.
The week after, I stroll into work. Everything is normal. Well, as normal as can be. Except an array of emotions are boiling within me. I blink to fight tears. The weight of this trauma is surreal. Another black man. Another black man. Another man killed. So, what do you think about the protest? I don't condone violence, nor do I believe in avoidance or silence, but I just don't understand. Marching around, protesting with no plan, and there has to be something better than this. I'm all for diversity, and I respect your thoughts. You're always so sincere. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? That's an interesting question. More like a lesson, but I suppose you should be told since you asked. I appreciate the sentiment and the sincerity and you wanting clarity, but let me be clear. I I don't need your charity. This work calls for transformation, and any hesitation in you tiptoeing on the fragility in which you stand, hand over heart grasping for your privilege because you can, leaves me back at square one. But if it's a true answer that you seek, then allow me. This multi-layered system have left brown and black people victims, and I fear it's too embedded in our psyche to remedy any quick solution. So you won't be able to have it your way, nor will you be exempt under any circumstance from not being a part of this issue. But I'll tell you what I fear. Bearing my soul only for your privilege to take hold and contradict my reality. So these are the rules as I spill my truth. 1, check your privilege at the door. No more do I want to hear that you can relate. As long as I can remember, in this country, there's been a state of emergency, and it is with the utmost urgency that we begin to address your issues with race. You can't save face by creating a demon races with painted faces of good old boy Southern whites, because even our progressives are selective in unconscious hate. Though some of you are late to the reality that race is still an issue, solving it becomes official when you do your part. No, I won't be providing you with resources or book lists or training. And by the way, it's not polite. You complaining about the inconvenience of a people's pain. Like Martin said, oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. Eventually, the yearning of freedom manifests itself. Let me pull back the curtain, because this much is certain. I want to be free to love as you love. No caution thrown to the wind as I contend my views. To ride a bicycle in a neighborhood with the sun kissing my skin. Free of the worry of being stopped, harassed, or asked, because this golden brown is the ultimate sin. I want white tears to be withheld so truth can spill from tongues without question. I want you to see my color and know my struggle without the backlash of your guilt like daggers assassinating my character. I need you to see me when you think America. But mostly, I want to relinquish the burden of defending my race and avoid the predictability of justifying my existence in white space. You see, you're safe. You get to determine when and where these conversations take place, while my participation is mandatory because it's our stories that you write when you shield yourself from negligence and you ask, where do we go? Well, my response is, what is a movement without destination? Whether you decide to take action or stand in hesitation, I'll still be fighting tears when black men die. I will still hear the haunting of his last cry. And I will still be witnessing the masses of white people turning a blind eye. But maybe, since you asked, you'll be still long enough to hear the crackle of white fragility beneath my feet as I move through your world designed for my defeat, walking on white fragility.
Artist formerly known as Mother Earth, Kim Nyesha Smith. She was paired with Ima Kianga Janaki, who created a quilt called Let Us Live. For hundreds of years, black people have lived in fear and hesitation of the reactions of white people to our very living. That constant concern about their opinions is a reality that we have learned to endure so that we may live. Not paying attention to white fragility and the white gaze could have meant the loss of a job, of our home, of an opportunity, and even our death. We can only move forward into the future freely and peacefully by the extinction of white fragility and the white gaze. It will require white people to let go of it, and it will require black people to stop being a slave to it. Let us live. That is by Kianga Janaki. Yeah, that will require black people's like a little tongue twister for me real quick. But that's good. We should all work our mouths out. We should do that. We have one more performer in this round. After that performer, we do have a second round of performances that are not directly related to the art pieces that you've seen today, and they will come through. And then after that, I'll make sure everybody comes back and gives you their information so you know how to follow up with them and find them. And so let's get to our final presenter of the evening, and that would be a gentleman named Jashua Sa-Ra, who is currently me. I collaborated with a brother named Anthony Burks, who gave me the concept. He had the visual concept first before I wrote the poem, and when he told me what he wanted to do, I thought it was a brilliant idea. And so I wrote this piece. It's called Mirror Black. I am a man, black, firstborn on every continent, tried by all the elements and found competent. I'm the breathing book of God, loving vowels colored by consonants. My peace is constant. I am a black man, birthed of blood and fire. Survived the psychotic projections of a lazy, savage, murderous, raping liar. I am the battle song of ancestors. Come, unity in the flesh choir. Let me be amplifier. I have found love. Answers all the questions. Frees the mind of oppression even without the confession. Reparations is a self-taught lesson. It's time to exit the cocoon. I have found love violated when left alone. In every way conceivable and unknown. Unprotected even in the home. Centuries of absolutely no comfort zone. It's time to rise from the ashes. A butterfly, flying in cursive, to script a verse of change, bringing hope gently like pollen for blossoming imaginations in the field of children's vision. A phoenix, flying in hieroglyphic to reveal a flame of renewal, to bring a bright and fierce victory, sharpening the hunger in the champions of children choices. I see their light as the future. We're their teachers. My labors, my rewards. I will always paint a picture for them of expanding successes. I hear their cries, the baby's hunger, their mother's trauma, my family, my responsibility. I refuse to let the sound of terror slip out ever again. I hold space for the planet. I take none of our breath for granted because God is the only seed that can ever be planted. Shadows are just light, slanted by the waves it hits when it landed. To all humanity, I stay open-handed. Because even though sometimes we may speak funny, we all just want to be understanded. Ethiopian is what the Spirit commanded. I hold space for my fam. It's me and mine first, I don't give a damn. We armed and trained, put it on cam, we ready to take back the land. My politics is black woman and man. Because she that silent weapon that never jam. Because she's more than thick legs, she's the reason I can stand. Ethiopian is just what we am. Give thanks. So as I said, I collaborated with Anthony Burke Sr., and he also titled his visual Mirror Black. And this is the artist statement for it. The man is talking to himself to get into the right mind and spirit. When the individual does not have self-control, he needs to be his own counselor. We tend to always blame others for our own plight, but fundamentally, we have to make the decision of what needs to be done. It's mind over matter. Bless. So that concludes the first round of performances and poetry. I would like to bring back a couple of the poets because we are really poets. We really do this, we really love this, and we had a little bit more time, so we wanted to give you as much as we could in this space, and we thank you for being here with us. I hope y'all blowing up the chat room in there or whatever y'all got. I don't know what y'all got, but blow it up. Blow up the chat room. Make a lot of noise, rip your screen protectors off, throw it, you know what I mean? Do what you need to do to express yourself so we can feel your energy emanating from wherever you are to wherever we are, and wherever we are to wherever you are. We thank you for sitting with us, and I would like to bring DJ Kyle, DJ Thought. I didn't throw out his real name. Sorry. DJ Thought, back to the microphone.
It's cool to know the government name as long as the check is made payable too, you dig? Make it foolproof. Give some to more, give some to less. Make it foolproof. I wish I could remember the conversations I used to have with my peers as a newborn babe 6 weeks out of the crib of the maternity ward. Relatively innocently born into this world of sin, I had no clue the type of trouble this world was truly in. See, back then I only raised heck when I wanted to be held and when I wanted to be fed or when my diaper needed changing. But my diaper needed changing more frequently when I realized how rapidly the world around me was changing. See, I was scared. Scared because I, as a kid, was being taught to forget why I, as a kid, wanted to play with other kids, loved other kids, just wanted to share with other kids, just because they were kids like me. I was colorblind, but my vision was clear, and I could see far better than just 20/20, because 20 and 20 only makes up 40%, and I didn't want to miss out on the other 60%, knowing that makes up the majority of the 90% of my intellect that I was systematically being taught not to use by school systems. School systems that systematically teach racism, sexism, self-hate, and every other form of discrimination known to man, thus enslaving the minds of those of us who were born free. Question: was The Matrix really just a movie? Or was that our first glimpse at a reality-based documentary? They said we must make the plan foolproof, give a few more than most, give others most, and watch them come to blows. And when they ask, when did this madness end, and when will this madness end, the answer will be, nobody knows. Peace.
Yeah. Can you tell them real quick how to find you if they want to?
Hello, Kyle Holder. You can find me at Smooth Bounce ENT. That's SMOOTHBOUNCEEENT. Yes, there are 2 E's, grammatically correct. Smooth Bounce ENT. You can find me on Instagram there. You can find me at Smooth Bounce Entertainment on Facebook or Kyle Thought Holder. Take care.
DJ Thought has been one of the DJs that has been making musical sounds for a lot of the events in all of South Florida, from West Palm Beach down to Miami. He's been a real pillar in this community. So check for him, see what he's doing, get him for one of your events. Clearly he can DJ your virtual events. If they are in Massachusetts right now and they need a DJ for a virtual event, can you do that?
Gotcha.
The new millennium has opened up all of these wonders for us. So, okay. So I'll holler at that, brother. So next we're going to bring back Nick Murray to the microphone. I keep wanting to sing Keith Murray songs every time I bring him up. Come on, man. It's the most beautifulest thing in this world.
Best host. Best host I ever had. My mama said you're clothed in a sin. She She said, boy, mind my words, they're a church. The devil has fire in his hand. And when he pulls you over, tell him you'll never be that dark again. You'll never be that dark again. Intro. My name is, well, I have a few. You see, my presence is the intersection of kidnapped Africans putting swag to British dialect and the idea that opportunity only comes in different shades of pale. So my resume name is the people's victory at the edge of the sea, but my middle name, You see, I get that from my father. I didn't understand that they wanted him to author shorter stories, novellas. I didn't appreciate his elbows compressing against the weight of his son. He was trying to push me to do something epic, and we deserved it after the chronicles that we'd suffered. But that past came to me later. I remember documentaries about Garvey and Marley. I learned to white-splain them as a thief and a womanizing warrior for peace. But my diction was perfect. My word choice was opulent. Behold the glittery speech of a black boy, but thankfully for him, his head remains nappy though. And thank God. Not to spite the goddess who gave me to you. She told me that the closer the crop, the further from sharecropper you grew. That lesson doesn't hold up all the time. It holds up sometimes. But black boys with short hair still die sometimes. And black boys with good speech still die sometimes. And black boys still die all the time. I hope that shit could stop sometime. I remember when that good music came reaching out the speaker to hit me. It bruised every glorious inch of me. Remember when I told you that the past came to me later? Well, it arrived like a fist in a bar fight. Or like a bullet parting denim and confused skin. I did like Bob and still pulled up to the show, but I am not a hero. No, I am not an innocent. I pulled up in the time machine of my past mistakes, and better late than never that I understand that my first and last name are only for the resume, and my middle name is First or King or God. My pronunciation of my personhood is perfect. My word choice is perfect. My nappy head perfect. Thank God. What now? Socials? Nah.
I bet y'all was struggling to see them ancestors I was talking about, right? I don't think he got hair under that. I think brother just got a whole kit of things that, like, any problems, I got you. You know what I mean? I believe you. He got things up in there. He got ancestral Benjamin Banneker powers up in there. You know what I mean? It's George Washington Carver powers up in there, man. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm about to bring my brother Dorian back to the mic. Please show him some love.
This piece is untitled. They take our blindness for our weakness. Listen to that. They take our blindness for our weakness. No political power, so we stuck living speechless. I wish there was a soldier like Malcolm here to take the terror out of our eyes. If that coat was shipped privately, we will never see it. I wait patiently for brothers and sisters to be free from shackles and chains. The enemy constantly birthing their kids to destroy our brains. For centuries, they ignored our pain. Millions of slaves died at sea. You say I'm rude, but you cruel, so we even. My people mourning and grieving, hoping that the change gonna come. But if the change don't come, we remain so dumb. Killing each other over pettiness. Yeah, killing each other over pettiness. Let me say that again. They take our blindness for our weakness. No political power, so we stuck living speechless. Untitled.
Oh, wait. Tell him where to find you, bro. Let him know. Let him know.
You can find me on Instagram, Doli Fayez. That's DoliFiyez. You can find me on Facebook also, but Instagram is Doli Fayez, DoliFiyez 57. You can find me on Facebook as Doli Fayez, just that without the numbers. Salute.
Yeah. I want y'all to know, for those who don't know, that wearing gold in our mouth is not new. It didn't start in this country. And I don't like that it sometimes gets associated with ideas of hip-hop and thuggeries. We sensitive with gold teeth in our mouth, too. You know what I mean? That's how we are. We real people. And it goes back to ancient traditions, man. So I always love to see in America how many reflections of Africa or wherever we came from still pop up. Like if you have a mango tree and you take it out of Africa and you put it in America, it's still gonna make mangoes. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's still gonna make what it makes. I'm gonna finish this round with a poem myself. They didn't expect this victory so quickly. They suspected the history to leave me sickly. But I'm too serious about my God and my people. These creature comforts don't tickle me. You can't out-beast the beast. No, I don't want to binge all day on Netflix, because teaching children to express themselves through poetry is how I get kicks. No, I don't crave these FDA potions that make us nutritional slaves from Gerber to the grave. Just give me a mango. Yep, I want land instead of rims. Yep, I want Lupitas instead of Kims. Yep, I do listen to Muhammad's. Nope, I don't want to be adopted by Phil Drummonds or Madonnas or Brads. Man, my Sankofa so swag. I literally got the future in the bag. You can call it a placenta sack. Shea butter on big bellies humming Coltrane. Man, I'm into that. No more broken home syndrome, started by rapists with no regard. They thought they had made a system so hard I wouldn't even bother. But I'm an amazing husband and spectacular father. You never seen a man so ready to go heru. No, my people are not crabs in a barrel. We're children of the sun, stuck in a genocide situation. And still we laugh and love and thrive. That gives me inspiration to spend perspiration on self-determination. The Ethiopians have arrived, and we claim the globe is homeland. If you dealing death to the planet, you played the wrong hand. Can't let nobody run up on mama. Come on, man. Rodney already asked, can we all get along? The news 30 years later show how you respond. Everywhere is war. So I got 100 prayer warriors focused on you right now, ready to activate some vision boards and manifest victory like blow. I got comedic yogis holding warrior positions, meditators jamming the counter-intel missions. I got Reiki masters globally embedded. They sending me energy and you just don't get it. I'm coming for you with empaths and dream walkers, Malcolm thinkers and king talkers. Orisha's on standby, Kundalini getting stirred, ancestors on speed dial. I say that's my word. We going in like the movie can't end until we win, because we the heroes. It's like the bar don't close till everybody get chose. Hey, y'all, the next round of victories is on me. Are y'all both coming up? All right. I'm going. What you need, brother? Oh, how to find me on the socials, huh? Ethiopian on everything that I'm on, which is Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't go on Facebook. I don't never check it, ever. I don't like them. But I'll be on Instagram and Twitter a little bit more. You can find me at JashuaSa-Ra.com also. I'm about to bring up the brother that I collaborated with and the brother of the team who put this together, Anthony Burks. They got some wonderful things to follow up and talk about real quick. Thank you, brother.
Hello, everyone. No, I'm the quiet one. Miss Burks does all the talking, but I do want to thank everyone that was part of this here. This was beautiful, and I hope we can do more soon. But we kind of left out the visual artists out of this thing here. So if y'all don't mind, can y'all come up here and join me? I guess we got to put our mask back on, but they at least got to see your face, see who created what they have created. And one at a time, can y'all all please give us your social media or Instagram or whatever it takes for them to see you again?
Peace and blessings. Kianga Janaki, Kianga Art, Kianga Art, Kianga Art. Instagram, Facebook.
Hugo Baskin, Hugo at Creation, Instagram.
Tracy Gito Art on all platforms, and I'm also on the Cultural Council Directory.
Darielle Donovan. You can find me on Instagram, drel15, and Facebook, just my first and last name.
Beautiful job, guys. And last but not least, my name is Anthony Burks, Sr., and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all just like Mr. Joshua Amp Burks, AmpBurks. And you can definitely get me on my website, Anthony Burks Collection. Thank you all.
Now let me bring up his butter half. We don't call people better or worse around here. We're going to bring up his butter half. Trina Burks, to give us some context for this event that we had this evening. Thank you.
First, let me say again, just like Anthony, thank you everyone who was part of this. This could not have happened without any of you. Those of you who contributed to our fundraiser to help these artists get their honorariums, thank you to all of you guys. 'Cause without you guys, they'd be starving artists, something we don't believe in. We don't do that. So speaking of starving artists, you're seeing a rotation of PayPal. That's going to the No More Starving Artists Foundation, which is an organization that helps artists be sustainable in Palm Beach County. So we give them honorariums, grant money, give them opportunities for business opportunities, and we thank you guys for keeping us going. It's our second year, and we've given out a lot of money, and I'm very proud of that. ATB is what we were hired to do to present this event. And ATB is a 29-year brand that started out helping mostly Black artists. That's where we started. So we were asked by the Cultural Council, and I want to thank you guys for asking us to do this. We truly appreciate this. They asked us to do an exhibition that's actually taking place in January called Caribou. But after the incident with George Floyd, they came back to us and asked us if we could put together something to speak our position on the topic. And people don't understand that this is not just something that happened back on May 25th. This has been going on for 400 plus years. So what the artists are trying to do is explain to you different perspectives in cultural identity and us as Black people. So it might have been a little bit hard-hitting, but sometimes you have to tell the truth for people to understand. And I'd rather everybody tell the truth than kind of sugarcoat it. And those of you guys who know me know I don't sugarcoat anything. So thank you all. I praise all of you guys. Thank you for all your help. Thank you, Jessica, for going back and forth. This was not an easy thing, but we made it happen. So how can you find us? ATB Fine Art Group on all platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me on all platforms, Dizzy Image, DIZEIMAGE. Thank you.
So yeah, I want to make sure that we give an opportunity for our sisters who did not come back up in that second round to share their information with you. Because yeah, we're not leaving the women out. What are you talking about? Come forward. What are you talking about?
You can find me on Instagram at Kim Smith Writes and on Facebook, and it's just my name, Kim Nyesha Smith. And thank you. This was amazing.
You can find me on Instagram at Jenn La Reine. It's JENNLAREINE. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is at the conclusion of our event this evening. I want to give one little anecdote about Trina. Because Trina hooked me up with the first place I ever lived in New York. And because of that, I ended up finding out there's a forest in Manhattan. Who would believe it? There's an actual forest in Manhattan. I lived a block away from it, and it saved my whole New York life, so thank you very much. A nature person like myself couldn't have made it in New York without that forest. So Trina be hooking people up globally, you know what I mean? Both Trina and Anthony have been like the salt of the earth when it comes to the art scene here in West Palm Beach and South Florida in general. So this is a culmination of their brilliance and their ongoing, very hard work to make sure that there are no starving artists. That's a ridiculous statement to even put starving and artists in the same paragraph. They don't fit. They don't fit. So make sure that you guys do follow up with any of these things that you found, and any of these artists that you enjoyed, support them. They have products, they have books, they have CDs, they have workshops, they have things. Shirts. They can get these shirts? You see the flyness of the shirts. And y'all can just roll up. You don't even have to do it in public. You can just be like, just roll up on people. So yeah, you can get these shirts. Where can they get them? atbfineartists.com. So check for that. Let me give y'all the outro, because we do hope y'all enjoyed it. We hope that y'all had a really wonderful time. The virtual exhibit will be open through October 22nd, when it will be open to the Cultural Council members by appointment. Please check the Cultural Council website for updates on limited opening to the public beginning on November 17th. The exhibition, How Do We Move Forward, runs through December 12th. And all of the artwork on view tonight is for sale. Get you some. Get you some. Y'all spend money on all kind of useless stuff. Get you some art, man. Art can be passed down generationally. Y'all heard the Jay-Z song. He said he got one for $1 million. 2 years later, it's worth $2 million. 3 years later, it's worth $8 million. He can't wait to give it to his children. Artwork, man. Invest in the real stuff. Please review the exhibition page on the council's website to see all of the artwork and for information on purchasing the art. I thank y'all for y'all's time, for y'all giving y'all energy. Even though we don't have a screen to see anything y'all saying, we felt y'all. I heard y'all clapping and going off and screaming. Feel free to catch up with all of us at any point. Book some of these people. They're really dope, talented people, man. So find them in your lives. They can do things virtually now. They got you. They got you. So thank you. My name, again, is Jashua Sa-Ra. It's been a pleasure to host y'all this evening. Can we get some music, bro? Let's go out on it. Wave them out. Wave them out on some.